Hey, what's going on? It is Paul Farmer. This is Freedom Project Live, episode 216. And on these, I like to share with you my marketing journey online, mindset tips, marketing tips, and anything else that I feel would be of value to you. So, uh, today's topic is basically what do you do when you don't feel like doing something? And I thought this was really appropriate because, frankly, today was one of those days where I didn't feel like doing my routine. So let me pull that back a little bit. So I thought I would come on here and kind of share that because I think that's really important to understand, especially in this industry. There's going to be days where you're going to be like, I don't feel like it today. I don't want to do anything. So I thought I'd come on here and just kind of share with you how I battle through that, how I get through that. So for whatever reason today, I got up and I just, I've had some things going on with my my ears been kind of bothering me the last few days. Not that I want to dwell on that, but it has been affecting me a little bit. And I woke up this morning. I was just like, it's not one of those days, just not into it. But here's the thing: like I did this, and I've said this many times, but a friend of mine gave me this CD or this MP3 or whatever it was back in the day, and he gave me this thing, and it was all about self-discipline. It was all about self-discipline. So I went through it. I didn't know what it was. He just said, "Hey, go through this." So I went through it. It was like a meditation kind of thing, kind of like a self hypnosis thing. And on that audio, what was said was you can have anything you want as long as you do this one thing. And the one thing was have self-discipline. If you have self-discipline, you can have anything you want. So what does self-discipline mean? Self-discipline means showing up to doing what you need to do to reach your goals despite how you feel. Despite how you feel, showing up anyway. So I don't know if it was that audio. I don't know what it was. But after that point, I've always been like, hey, I need to do this. I need to get this done. This is something that, it's like law. It's like it needs to be done. Simple as that. And I've always done that since, really, with everything, with my workouts, with my business. So it's been something I kind of learned over time. But so when you don't feel like something, and I've heard Ray Higgins say this too, like you do it anyway. You do it anyway. I mean, if you have a goal in mind and you want to reach that goal, it's still like so many people to say, I don't feel like it. I'm not going to do it today. But what that does is that opens up the door to you not feeling like doing it the next day, and then doing it the next day, and then not doing it the next day. And before you know it, a week has passed. And before you know it, 2 weeks have passed. And before you know it, a month has passed. And now you're out. So, I encourage you, if you are building a home-based business, if you're thinking about building a home-based business, that you need to have a set routine, a daily routine that you do no matter what you feel like, no matter what's going on, it's something you do. And you need to do that before your head hits the pillow. There are no exceptions. And when you do that, that's how you grow your business. And there are going to be days, there's going to be many days you don't feel like it. And if you went by feelings, you would never get anything done. So that's really where it's at for me. Now, I'm telling you, like, I did not feel like it. One of the goals I have on a daily basis is 25 connections. It's something I want to do. I typically send an email. My goal is to get at least one video a week. This will be my 5th video this week, plus team trainings and things like that. But, it's one of those things that it comes down to how bad do you want it? Like, how bad do you want it? And on those days when you're like, let's just think about this. Let's talk about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson, he works out every single day. The guy's just a beast. I mean, he's just nonstop, and he doesn't miss workouts. He works out like at 4 in the morning, doesn't miss workouts. So he has the body he has because of what his discipline, his self-discipline. He has the success he has because of his self-discipline. I promise you that. You don't get there. You don't get to that level by, oh, I don't feel like it today. Okay, so just keep that in mind. As you can tell, I'm a little bit off today. I'm not as excited. But I thought it was important that you see this. I think it's important that you see this. There are ups and downs. There are days where you feel great. There are days where you're kind of off. So I just want you to understand that there will be days where you're just like, man, I don't want to do anything. I just want to go watch Netflix or whatever. And you know what? It might be okay to take a day or two off. That might be okay. But it really just depends, like, if you take that day off, is it going to derail you later on? So I've still been having sales coming in today. I still have people signing up or wanting to sign up. Even though I'm kind of off my game today, that's still happening. And the reason that's happening is because I've been consistent. I consistently do the things I know produce income on a daily basis. And that's really all it is when it comes to making money from the comfort of your home. It's really just having a daily discipline. You can call it a daily method of operation. You can call it your income producing activities, whatever it is. You got to have this daily discipline where you know exactly what it is, the activities you need to be doing on a daily basis, and you do them despite. You do them no matter what. And when you do, that's when you start seeing things happen in your business. Now, if your business is already rocking, it's already going great, sure, you could probably take a day or two off. It's not really going to bother you. You could probably take more time off. But if you are just getting started, if you are in the building process, then you definitely don't want to be taking days off. You definitely want to be working, okay? And I'm going to say one last thing. So one of the things that kind of got me down today was I was talking to someone that had came and asked me for my assistance, my help. And he decided to partner with me in a program I'm doing. And I think it's been 2 weeks and he's already thrown in the towel. He's already said he's not able to do it. And to me, it's just sad. It's just sad. And unfortunately, this happens way too often in our industry. And I know I'm going in a different topic now, but I think it needs to be said. This happens way too much in our industry. It's one of the reasons why there's such a high failure rate, because people expect things to happen for them overnight. And if they don't happen for them overnight, they're out the door, or they're looking for why they can't do it instead of why they could. They're looking for any reason why they can't do it instead of looking for why they could. Now, in this case, the requirement to get a free membership was to refer just 3 people, just 3 customers. Now, I know for some people this is like a monumental task, but it's all in their head. It's all in their head because it's not really that complicated. It's not really that difficult whatsoever. There are people that do it like in an hour. I mean, of course, it just depends on different things. Now, some people will say, oh, but you have a big list. Oh, but you have a big following. Oh, but you just pull your team. I'm like, no, I don't. Sure, I have a bigger following than some people, but I still have a very small following. Just look at the views on my videos. I've done thousands of videos, and I still get hardly any views. So, I mean, I don't have a huge following. So that's not it. It's just the constant being consistent, being committed. One of the things I said today to my team was, if you are not going to commit yourself at least a year, commit to at least a year to grow your business, to learn the skills you need to learn to grow your business, then you might as well never get started. In fact, this industry is probably not for you. I mean, that's the truth. That's the harsh truth. And it's just one of those things, like, I don't know what it is where people get it in their head that they could become successful in 30 days before their next payment comes. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be rich before my next payment comes. And if that doesn't happen, they're out the door. I will never understand that. If you are to start a restaurant offline, they typically are not in profit for 5 years. For 5 years. And we have online programs, online opportunities where you could be in profit. You can be break even, actually. You can break even very quickly. Let's just say it takes you 6 months to break even. That's still way better than any offline business. But because of this, I don't know if it's a standard, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, this thought that people have where, I could jump in something, I could get rich overnight, and I'm not going to do anything. And then if it doesn't work, I'm just going to get out. Well, that's not ever going to work. So you got to give it a commit. You got to be committed to it for at least a year. Like, you just got to say that to yourself. Like, hey, you know what? I'm going to give this at least a year. I'm going to do everything I possibly can. I'm going to follow what the leaders are teaching to do. I'm not going to go reinvent the wheel. I'm going to be teachable. And I'm going to show up every day despite how I feel. I am going to practice self-discipline. These are the things you need to be saying. If you're not saying that, if you're saying things like, I'm going to try it and see how it goes for a month, you're done. You're done. You doomed yourself. You're done. You're going to quit. It's going to happen. So, because you already decided that. You never decided you wanted to be successful in the first place. You're coming in it with fear and doubt and worry. So that's what you're going to get back. So you're never going to get anywhere until you change that. So that's really, really important to understand. So that's all I really want to talk about today. Even when you don't feel like doing something, just do it anyway. I know it's no trick to that. I will say this though, by sitting and thinking and doing nothing, that still requires action. You're just not getting anywhere. It requires action. It requires effort to do nothing. It requires a lot of effort to do nothing. So if it still requires a lot of effort to do nothing, you might as well do something, right? So my only tip with this is, and it works every time, if you're not feeling like doing something, get started doing it. Get started doing it. So for example, if I want to go and start messaging people, if I don't feel like it, like I don't want to follow up today. I don't want to deal with anybody today, right? If I start the day like that, but then I go, you know what? I'm just going to start messaging a few people, right? And as you go through the process, it's going to get easier, right? It's going to get easier. You're going to keep going. And then you're basically going to start motivating yourself to do more. That's kind of what happens. It's the same thing with like when you don't feel like working out. Many days you don't feel like working out, I'm sure. I know I don't. But, what always happens is once you get going, right? Once you start the process, once you stop thinking about it, once you start saying, I don't feel like it, but once you start that process and you're in it, you're like, wow, I'm glad I did that. I feel good now. I never hear anybody say, oh, no, man, I shouldn't have worked out today. I feel terrible. That's a horrible thing. No, I never hear that. It's always, wow, I feel much better after that workout. I'm so happy I did that. Same with business. I'm so happy I did my routine. I followed my daily discipline. I didn't slack. I didn't just allow my feelings to control what I was going to do. So, I mean, that's how you have to be if you want to have success in this industry. If you want to make income that's going to make a difference for you. It's not just going to fall in your lap. I hate to tell you this. I'm not the hype machine here. Okay. I'm not the one that's going to tell you, oh yeah, get in, push button. Here comes the money. There's plenty of people out there. If you like that, you can go to them and you can get screwed over by them, because that's what's going to happen if you buy into that hype. I'm here to tell you the truth, tell you what it's like, show you what's really going on, So there are days where you're off. This is one of my days. Still getting it done though. Still fighting through it. Okay. So with that, I'm going to leave it at that. You have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. If you'd like to learn how to make residual and passive income, click the link right below. That's going to take you into what I'm doing. And we have a phenomenal team. We have great team resources. Everything you could ever need to be successful is provided. And honestly, I don't know how anybody couldn't be successful with this. So with that, make it a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.